Hello, everyone, and welcome to Burn the Ship, the podcast that helps entrepreneurs go all in on their business, and we introduce them to professionals that can help them to do so. Today, we have a very special guest. Kevin, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Yourself?
I'm doing very well, thanks. Go ahead and introduce yourself in the name of your business.
My name is Kevin Doheny, and I am the founder and managing director of Doheny Promo. Um, we sell, we do promotional solutions for businesses of all sizes.
Awesome, awesome. We so look forward to learning more about your business. But Kevin, before we get there, we want to learn a little bit more about your journey. And we do understand that time is one of our most valuable resources. So go ahead and tell us about your story.
My story and journey to get to where I am now. I retired from the United States Army in 2020. Um, and I was just looking for something to do once I got out of the Army. A lot of my peers were going into corporate America, and I wasn't about that life. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do a career where I could travel and go to do what I wanted to do and not have to like put in leave or anything like that, because that's what I had to do for 20 years. So
Mm-hmm.
I chose to do this with a computer and some subscriptions. And, I'm here today. I've had to do a lot of on-the-job training, but, a lot of the stuff that I learned that I use today with my day-to-day stuff is basically skills that I learned from the Army and the different responsibilities and roles that I had.
Yeah, awesome. We definitely appreciate your service. Tell everyone that our freedom is not free. And if you cannot tell a veteran thank you, then you need to go somewhere else. But we'll talk about that another time. But now, I thought you're from Texas, right? So you're on the west side of the Mississippi. Where did you do your initial training for the Army?
Well, I did a lot of training in the Army.
Mm.
It
That
started in South Carolina and it ended at Fort Hood, Texas.
okay.
I did about half my career. There's behind me, I did about 8, 9 years at Fort Campbell, which
Mm-hmm.
is it's the northern part of Tennessee, the southern part of Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to Korea. I did 3 tours in Iraq. I've been stationed at my last duty station was Fort Hood, is where I retired. Um, so I've done a lot of training and been to a lot of different places.
Yeah, I asked that because I'm from Columbus, Georgia. So, we have
Okay,
Fort
Fort Benning.
Benning
Yep.
there. And I actually worked on Fort Benning. I share with people that I had a crossroads when it was time to go to college because I was the gentleman that was in the mess hall standing beside the drill sergeant getting the last four of your social so you can go
Okay.
eat. So I was that guy.
Is
So
this where they had to step out of line, say something, and then pop back in line?
that's
Yeah, I
right.
remember
That's
that.
me. That was me. I was writing it down. Don't you get sweat on my paper, whatever. He was always screaming that. So I always ask when, especially when someone in the Army, because I had my experience at Fort Benning. But also, what a lot of the viewers don't understand is that inside of the military, there's all sorts of jobs. And you
Mhm.
hinted at it, Kevin, that you got to where you are by some of those experiences in the Army. So please tell us some of those jobs that you did so we can have a foundation of how you got to where you are. What were you doing in the Army Force?
Well, the what I chose to do eventually when I retired is in the advertising and marketing lane. So when I was in the Army, I was a public affairs soldier. So basically, what I tell and let people in layman's terms is we're basically the marketing guys for the Army. At a lower level, it was kind of like a combat camera type, and then towards the middle to late part of your career, you're taking leadership roles, being on certain brigade, division, corps level staffs with 3, 4 star generals. So it was an easy transition to do what I did because I kind of had a little bit of experience. I knew what social media was all about. I knew what representing a brand and highlighting what makes a brand special because we love talking about the Army. Us Army folks, we like to brag and we want to always make the Army look in its best light. And so I just had a lot of experience in that, and that's why I chose to do what I did.
Awesome. Now, inside of the Army with this particular role, not everybody has the understanding of the importance of the military. So sometimes you have to convince them. Can you
Mhm.
share a story with us that you guys overcame or what you had to overcome through that advertising? What was one of the bigger things that you had to overcome during your time advertising for the Army? And, what was the solution that you guys came up with?
Well, I wasn't quite directly related to advertising of the Army.
Mm-hmm.
What we kind of said was we tell the soldier story. And so
Mm-hmm.
Joe Snuffy from, you know, Fayetteville, North Carolina, he joins the Army, he becomes specialist so and so, he does this job. We want to tell the American people, what their taxpayer dollars are going towards,
Mm-hmm.
training and equipment, telling the true story because there's a lot of myths out there. And so we just really focused on telling the truth about what we were doing on a day-to-day basis for the American people and just try to get that, trust and confidence that we're the best military in the world. We're the best army in the world. If you think about it, the Army is the oldest organization in the United States. I consider it's the greatest fighting force the world has ever seen. And I just trying to show a little bit of, kind of peel back the cover a little bit, and so the American public can see what their tax dollars are going towards, and that's making the world's greatest fighting force. And I think kind of like nowadays, it's we've always had this competition with the Marines because the Marines have amazing advertising. But you watch a Marine commercial, you want to go do the Crucible right then. I think the Army's kind of catching up.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in, we had like five different all you can be, Army of one. The Marines
Mm-hmm.
has been Marines few the proud. That's it
Mm-hmm.
for forever, right? So they
Mm-hmm.
do marketing and advertising really well, and I think the Army's getting there with their latest campaign and kind of how they're focusing it.
Yeah, that is amazing because what you're sharing with me right now is you're creating a story. You are illustrating a message, and that's amazing how it flows over to what you are doing now. Once you finished with your 20-year career, I'm sure there were plenty of options out there for you, being a veteran, having those skills. Kevin, what event happened that made you burn the ship and say, hey, I'm going to go all in on my own business instead of like going to a corporate job or something like that?
So, like I hinted before, I wanted to have control of my own time,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a huge factor for me. I would say the challenge and the excitement of knowing that I could do it myself. It was kind of a personal challenge, really, because when you when you make a decision to do this, there's no in between. It's you win or you lose, or you go home. So I've had to learn a lot of things, but ultimately it was challenging myself, being able to create my own schedule and choosing an industry that allowed me to do that. And so I kind of found a niche in this industry that allows me to have control of my time. And I'm not saying that I'm not up early doing work, but if there's a day where it's noon, then it's noon. Or if it's late one night, it's late one night.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I chose to do what I do because it just gives me my time back. And I really wanted to be around family. 20 years in the Army, my whole career, we were at war. A lot of deployments, a lot of trainings, months gone. And I wanted to be in control of my time again, really.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the main factor in all of it.
Awesome. Now we want to learn more about what it is that you're doing, how you're helping these business owners out here. So go ahead and tell us everything that you can about your business.
Yeah, so like I said, I try to provide promotional solutions to businesses of all sizes, and that's if you're a one-man band and you're a landscape and you have a mower and a weed eater, I'm here for you. I'll order you some sun shirts, or we can do something for you. We can, the power of having your brand on on a hat or a shirt, that's an impression right there.
Mm-hmm.
Someone may see you at a Walmart and they need their grass cut. They're like, my guy's not doing very well. Or businesses of all sizes. Like, I mean, I'm kind of a smaller um, business right now, so there's pretty much a cap for who I really entertain. But if you're a local businesses here with hundreds of employees, I can facilitate promotional solutions for those companies as well. And it's just really, and my moniker really is stand out and be seen. It's not knickknacks, and I try to really focus on speaking with my clients, find out what industry they're in, what's their brand voice, and if they've but ultimately at the end of the day, everyone's got budgets. And so I try to help customers get the best value for their budgets. I don't just try to sell them stuff. I try to have a good relationship with my clients and really try to work with them to find the right items, not just here's my website, go buy stuff. I try to find them the right items.
Yeah, now with it, I'm sure you've come across all types of promotional opportunities. What would you say is the most unique thing that you help someone promote? I know a pen is regular, a cup is regular.
Right.
What's one of the more unique things you've put in some advertisement on?
Well, it's funny that you asked because I just got some samples in the mail today that I'll show you.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a contract with the Department of Management Services here in the state of Florida. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, they help manage all the state agencies, and so there's about seven of us promotional folks inside that contract, and the Florida Fish and Wildlife sent me a request to do some custom knives.
Okay.
And so that was a kind of a fun deal. So
Mm-hmm.
they ordered some bench made knives with their logos on the knife. And that's a really cool, unique item instead of just a tumbler
Mm-hmm.
or a
Mm-hmm.
shirt or a hat.
Mm-hmm.
Benchmade's a quality US brand, and they felt very strongly that they wanted their logo to be on a strong brand like Benchmade, and
Yeah.
so I did it for them, and it worked out pretty well for them. They look real awesome,
Yeah.
real awesome.
Yeah, because it's one of those things where you see the pens, you see the cups, you see the magnets and things like that. I knew there was something unique you had out there. I don't think I've seen advertisement on a knife before. I think that would be the first time I've seen something like that.
Yeah, I also tell people this: if you can put a logo on it, if there's enough space, I'll try to get it for you.
Okay.
And it may not be from a promotional supplier;
Mm-hmm.
it may just me having to figure it out.
Right.
So that's kind of what I tell everyone is. But I don't know if you can see it right there.
Oh yeah.
That's my logo. I had this one done on this
Yeah.
really awesome Benchmade knife here.
Yeah.
It comes with its own box and everything, like a
Mm-hmm.
gift set.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be great for like client appreciation or employee recognition or something like that. If you're in a certain industry where a knife is a fitting gift. So, not
No.
everyone needs to get knives,
Yeah,
but
not no daycares on that one, but if it's appropriate, makes sense. I do like the idea of the employee appreciation because a lot of times when it comes to promotions, a lot the people think about, oh, I have to do it for the outside public so we can gain opportunities. But what I've learned is that you got to have your employees feeling good too. So having those types of gifts for them can be pleasurable. So thanks so much for highlighting that.
mm,
Now, with it, we have an idea of the type of end user that you're looking to get in front of, but we do a lot of networking, and sometimes you need to have good relationships with your referral partners. Kevin, over your time of being in business, have you found a couple good referral partners that we could try to introduce you to?
that you could introduce me to.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So I think work speaks for itself.
Mm-hmm.
When you go over and above maybe what the competitor would do.
Mm-hmm.
Really take time to learn the customer and make sure that they're aware every step of the process till they get their item. I've had multiple people say, "Hey, I got your name from this person, or got your name from that person, or hey, I saw this person wearing this. That was really cool. I want that for my business." And
Mm-hmm.
so that's really where I'm at right now as far
Okay.
as the referral stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, it makes me happy when someone says that I spoke with so and so, and they gave me your contact information. I saw that it's really high quality. I want to go that way.
Mm-hmm. Now, with it being in Florida as your base, but you're not captive to Florida, you can do this all over the country, all over the world.
Yes, so I try to focus here in the United States. My base is here in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I live in Southwest Florida. I've got my first ever big real client customer was the University of South Florida.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of helped me go from a micro business to a micro business, and I've put in bids and won bids for in Arkansas and Texas. I just recently did a sun shirt order for a transmission business in North Carolina. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm not limited by where you live, or anything. I'll find a vendor that's, if you're, to try to help you out on shipping or something, I'll find a vendor that's close to you and we'll get you what you need.
Yeah, I always ask that because these shows they're broadcast on the internet, and although you're there in Florida, I didn't want anyone to think, hey, he can only do it in this Southwest area. So that's why I try to clarify that portion. Now, during your time in the military, 20 years, you've been in business for 5 or so, or about that.
Or
I'm pretty confident you have acquired and nurtured a bunch of business skills or best practices. Do you mind sharing with the audience a couple of those best practices that helped you to be successful that maybe they can push towards some of the same success?
So in the Army, time management is big. So you've got a lot to do and so much time to do it. So being able to manage your time is huge. And when I first transitioned into this, I was very much slacking in that realm.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I've kind of tightened it up on that, and I became more successful. Some of the other skills that I've learned is, like I mentioned before, I was on certain levels of staffs in the Army, and the skills that you get working with on a staff in a large scale organization like a brigade or a division or a corps, those things translate like I can't. I was ready to do this from day one. I just didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I really don't really know what I'm doing right now either. But so time management would be probably my number one thing. But
Mm-hmm.
trusting in yourself, is another one. And taking care of your people, taking care of your customers, letting them know that they matter. Um, and so that's probably it.
When you talk about the time management, I want to ask a probing question on that as far as one of the principles that you use to help with that time management. Is it a scheduler? Is it your calendar? Is it an assistant? What would be one thing that helps you to stay on top of that time management?
Well, the tool that really set me up for success, and I'm not getting paid to say this, but Monday.com.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first moved to Florida 4 years ago or so, was in an adventure with some peers from the Army of mine, and it was introduced to me Monday.com. It's this software, and it changed the way I do things. The tool's only as good as the information that you put in it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're good at putting the information, it'll let you know. You can do automations to send you emails. You get busy. You're married, you have kids, they got games or whatever. You get emails. But Monday.com was good for me, and I just hired. I'm not going to call her an assistant. She does a lot more than just being an assistant, but
Mm-hmm.
kind of helped me focus on other things and keep me on track for things that are like due outs. But the Army taught me to always be prepared, not get prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I try to do. So if there's something I can do the day before, kind of a forgetful person. So if I need to do something, maybe I'll put it by the door,
Okay.
or,
Okay.
just little things, or put it on my keyboard. You need to do this tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me personally. That might be a little extra for somebody else. But there's things that you can do to help manage your time. But Monday.com for me was probably the number one tool that I've found, because I'm just a one man person. I was just a one man person,
Mm-hmm.
and it really helped me out.
Yeah, I always ask that because a lot of times we tell people to do stuff, but we don't give them instructions on how to do it. And we get frustrated with them when they don't figure it out. We just gave them a 30,000 foot instead of saying
Yeah.
step 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's why I asked what do you have, because a lot of people don't know. They're great at whatever it is they do, but they don't know the business solutions or the best practices. That's why I love this segment, because I promise you, if someone hears what you just said, they may introduce that to their system and then they put them in a better spot. So thank you so much for sharing that part of it. Now, with it, we've talked a lot about your journey, your jobs in the military, your visits of all the cities you had to go to, and now your experience in being a business owner. But I want to talk about Kevin and himself. Now, let's just say that, the person you helped to come on with the business and it grows and time and money is not an issue at all, what is it that Kevin would do with his time?
Play more golf.
Okay. Okay.
No,
He's not playing with golf.
I would. I really, I would probably be playing more golf,
Yes.
but I would say if money wasn't an issue, and I would probably travel with my family.
Hmm.
While I did travel to some places in the army, I didn't travel to the places you want to go to. So
Okay.
I have I don't have a lot of those images from all these places around the world, but
Hmm.
probably travel with my family, play golf, and just try to be the best person I could be.
Now, as we are talking about those things that you would do, and you shared that, I got two questions. First, can you please tell us that best golf shot that you've hit so far? Because I know you remember it.
Yeah, so full transparency, I've never hit a hole in one.
Okay.
Been close, but I don't know what somebody would consider close. Tap in, which
Mm-hmm.
is I hit a 7-iron on a par five years ago, stuck it and made an eagle.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably it.
Okay.
I'm a mid handicap. I'm about a 13,
Okay.
so
Okay.
I'm good enough to be dangerous sometimes, but bad enough to really stink up the joint. So
Yeah, I always ask about that favorite one because I know there's one. Like I said, I remember mine too, but it was nowhere. It just didn't get wet. That's my favorite one because
oh
I
hey,
use.
that's half the battle right there. Keep the ball dry.
I
Keep
know,
it in
right?
play and keep it dry.
I
Yeah.
know, right? I am out of bounds king, but it's all good. Now, it's the next question that I have. You talked about traveling with your family. That is important, because it's your family. What would you say is that next destination place that you guys have in mind that you want to go that's on that checklist?
Well, this doesn't go for the whole family,
Okay.
but I I'm taking my son to the Ohio State versus Texas at Ohio State here in about a month,
Okay.
and super stoked. I know that's not like a quote unquote vacation to Italy or something, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm a sports guru.
Mm-hmm.
My son's starting to really get into football.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, we're Cowboys fans, but I thought we can introduce him to um, college football, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm a University of Texas fan. I grew up in Central Texas, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we're gonna go to that game. We're really excited, and then we're gonna wear our burnt orange and see how it goes.
Okay, that's going to be amazing. I'm big into sports too, and especially if he is now starting to get into it. Him seeing such a huge spectacle of a game inside of that horseshoe is going to be
Mhm.
amazing for him. And y'all got
Bucket list.
y'all got an opportunity. Y'all got a good quarterback. Y'all know he's good.
I'm all
He got
right.
some
I'm
play.
okay with it.
Yeah,
I'll take our chances.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That's amazing. That's good that you are forward thinking like that and trying to go ahead and plant seeds into his future. And I always appreciate that type of stuff as well. Now, Kevin, if people are watching today have more questions about you helping them with those promotional items, you sharing with them some more tips when it comes to the time management, what's the best way for them to get in contact with you?
I can be reached at area code 941-202-9950. My email is kevin@doheny.promo. That's DOHENY.promo, PROMO. I'm here to help give you promotional solutions for businesses of all sizes. If you need one shirt or a million, I'm your guy.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. We always appreciate our guests coming on because it's not always easy to share, and we always honor our guests by giving them the last word. So, Kevin, please look into the camera and tell the people something good.
So today is my 47th birthday, and whenever your birthday comes around, you start getting a little like nostalgia. And over the past year, I've had a pretty good year, and I guess the way the world is right now is, I guess what I would just tell people is just try to be the best person you can be, because that's really all you have control of, and just keep grinding. Be the best person. Keep grinding. Karma will find you. Karma will find you. Be good to others, and that's it. I think that's all you can really control in this world is be good to yourself and be good to others.
Yeah, thank you so much. Happy birthday. We
Thank you.
definitely appreciate you coming on to show today, and thanks for being a guest with us.
I appreciate you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Yeah, of course, of course. And to everyone that is watching today, be kind and thanks.